I am Coppéllie Cocq, Professor of European Ethnology, and this short lecture today will be about qualitative research. So digital qualitative research can be about social, cultural dimensions of our digitalized societies, and it can also be the use of digital tools and approaches for collecting, creating, and analyzing the research data. So it is both about digital spaces and digital tools. Examples of digital qualitative research include, for instance, how we communicate and behave online, the impact of digitalization on our lives, the analysis of sound, videos, digital imageries, and multimedia, or of text and hypertext, a study of collaboration and sharing practices, of virtual environments, for instance games, and many other topics. Traditional qualitative methods that you might already be familiar with can be applied to the study of digital phenomena and adjusted for that purpose, for instance forms of visual analysis, narrative analysis, or discourse analysis. Here I will present digital qualitative research with focus on qualitative data. So there are different kinds of data. Data generated in research, for instance produced through interaction between a researcher and research participants, and data that's already there, regardless of us researchers, for instance in digital archives or generated by communities of users. How we conduct our research and our choice of methods also depends on the role of technology in designing a study. Technology can be just a medium, or it can be a means for studying something, like using the features of technology for collecting data, or making a strategic choice of a digital space. Or it can be the phenomenon itself, like studying how Zoom works and what people are doing there. Ethical aspects in relation to the data we collect, and more importantly, to the people behind the data, to the places we observe, guide us also when designing our research. For instance, if you cannot get consent for using data about a sensitive topic, you might have to revise how you will interact with a space or with people, and what materials you can access and use. A useful first step in digital qualitative research is a digital ethnography approach. Ethnography is applied in several disciplines in the humanities and social sciences in order to document, describe, explain, and understand cultural practices, constructions, and interaction. Digital ethnography allows us to identify phenomena, places or groups, to study interactions, socialities, behaviors, as well as to generate and collect data. It is a set of methods and a research practice for the study of people and cultures that involve more or less extensive fieldwork, description and qualitative interpretation of practices, symbols, beliefs, narratives, for study of material and intangible culture. Methods for data collection include, for instance, interviews, from interaction between interviewer and interviewee to recording and transcribing, or observations, like field notes, from observations to text. As an approach and a research practice, digital ethnography is about the study of the field through participation, immersion. It seeks to highlight and include a variety of voices, perspectives, and patterns. And the field in digital research is not a bounded locality. It can be a specific place on the internet, a group of people, so-called community, or a topic that goes through multiple places and spaces, online and in relation to an offline place or group. Another specificity in digital research is that it is a bit of a challenge to work with materials that can easily change or disappear. The dynamic of websites and digital environments is in qualitative research something that you want to capture, see what people create, how discussions and performances change and develop, etc. It is not about translating the digital into something non-digital, not about printing a Facebook discussion on paper, for instance. One must be able to capture the dynamism, interactions, and multimedia features of the data. So documentation is central. When searching, browsing, clicking through and following links, do not wait until you come to a page and forget how you got there. Save websites and navigation. You can keep notes and take screenshots, but the easiest way is to record your screen while you are surfing and getting acquainted with a new website, for instance. When you then play back the video, you can also evaluate how linear or intuitive the navigation is and how the various pages are linked to each other. Finally, qualitative research is often about small data samples. But qualitative research approaches can, however, also be useful in big data studies, for instance, in order to address the risk of a disconnection gap between the data and the people or the field. Thank you.